Is it March 12th, 2015. Okay, we're good to start stand up by format will be what you did last week, what you're going to do next week, and if you have any blocks. So who would like to go first?
I'll kick us off.
Great.
Okay, so make sure I got everything here. So last week, actually right after the last stand up, finished up the light car entry related task. Got some of the required deliverables done and posted up. I requested a quote from an online vendor for shielded wire of various gauges to see what kind of pricing is available. But since we actually need a working extension, I think before Monday, I actually purchased some 18 gauge automotive wire because they didn't have anything smaller than that. So I don't know if you can see that. Probably can't see that. It was $7 at just a local automotive store for 40 feet. Um, I started making the extension cable. I got one complete. I don't know if you can see this too. So let me get that closer. In order to validate it, I did one complete set so that I made sure everything was lined up and the terminals. I can't see this. Um, so that so that I knew that the terminals lined up. And actually, I'll agree with Milo on this. These things are a pain in the ass to put together. There's a plastic clip inside this end that blocks it from going in very easily. And if you take the plastic clip out, it works good, but it's almost more difficult to get the plastic clip out than anything else. So, but I also have some heat shrink on there. So I think at this point, of course, I'll have heat shrink on the end, but I may either be using heat shrink or zip ties in several locations to keep that all together and neat. Let's see. What else did I do? Okay, so I actually took and passed the certified Scrum Master test. Of course, took the class a month ago, but I hadn't taken the test yet. So um, I finished soldering this FM transmitter kit. It's not as impressive because you can't see the solder. It's actually I got it in the box already. Um, I'm going to try to take that with me to Austin. I'll get to that in a minute, but I'm going to try to take that with me. Um, I tried to update the weekly Hangout notification with the info about the backlog revision meeting an hour before, and for some reason it did not send out the notification at all. So I clearly broke that. I'm not sure exactly what happened with it yet. I sent an email to the team about trying to get access to the WIKISPEED SourceForge account that already exists. And I looked at the join the team form because I guess a couple weeks ago somebody was trying to join the team and said it wasn't working. I did a test run, had somebody actually join the team, and it didn't have any issues with it. So I'll follow up with that person and see what their specific issue was. For next week, I'm going to attend the South by Southwest Agile Build Party in Austin. So, of course, trying to get the accelerator pedal extension finished before then. I still need to test. I haven't applied power to this thing and tested yet, so I'm not sure if if it's soldered correctly or yet not for the 7 transmitter. But if I have time to test it and then tune it to a station, I'm going to take it with me so we can put it in the car, so it'll be like a talking car exhibit. Okay, and I'm going to set up or either get access to or set up a WIKISPEED SourceForge account so we have Git available for Arduino code or any other code that we need. And I'm going to create a character board for the WIKISPEED online team that's what we'll be doing the backlog revision on, kind of as a test case. And at this point, I need to fix the weekly Hangout notification. And that's it. The only block that I have is because I am going to Austin I think on Saturday, and then I'll be down there till Tuesday. The build party's on Monday, but the driver side door lock on my car is broken and it does not lock right now, and so I got to get that fixed before I drive down to Austin and leave my car parked randomly about South by Southwest. That's it for me though.
That's awesome. It looks like you did a crap load of stuff. All right, well, who would like to go next? Well,
I got,
or Michael, go ahead.
well, it's not going to take me long, unfortunately. I helped a little bit with the light car the challenge. I guess the paperwork for applying. I was hoping to help with the U.S. Postal Service thing, but we kind of messed up on the date. And I think I did get an application in to get an account, so we could have sent in an application if we had. Rest of the electronic stuff hasn't gone anywhere at all this week, and next week it's not going to go very far at all either. I'm on holidays, and I'm actually going to be away from all of my equipment, so I can do some stuff on the web if we get this new Carica board set up. I might be able to add or move stuff around or whatever. And I have no blocks. That's about it for me.
Awesome. All right, well, I can go next. I didn't get a whole lot done because I had some other priorities that had to be done. But I did, I wired the shop with 220 for the welder, and I nearly finished the lower frame for the E module. And I have a picture of that. And that would be, let's see, let's see. Let's see, and everybody can see that, I guess. That is the portion that bolts to the front of the frame, well, the frame, the cross member, and I need to get a better look, but here it is. That's the lower portion of the frame that's being done for the E module. All right, and that's it. Next week, I plan to finish that frame and start on the upper portion of the frame that attaches to the car, and also order the bearings and possibly see about the laser cutting. And I have no blocks at the moment. So who'd like to go next? Is that you? Okay.
All right, so I took the engine module that runs and helped them ship it to Texas or put it on the truck to go to Texas. Took the engine module out of car 1 and just took it out so they wouldn't be in car 1. Took a load of recyclables to the recycling place, and most of my week has been spent planting trees next to WIKISPEED.
Awesome. It's a green thumb. So did you say no box, I guess?
No what?
No blocks?
No blocks.
Okay, great. I guess that leaves Lauren.
Okay. Well, this week I ended up doing a little more because I proposed an idea for Chris's idea of an online kind of location or something, whatever, chat room or whatever, for so people could look and see if people are working and ask some questions or whatever, or collaborate or whatever. So I wrote an idea for that, and somebody answered it and said that they did that kind of thing and that it was quite feasible. So I'm going to give my So and then so I jumped on the backlog grooming meeting, and we talked a little bit about that and the how that might go ahead. So that's what I did the past week, and I hope to do more things like that. And I'm kind of trying to get ready. I have some blocks in terms of still unpacking and kind of organizing my place here. Some red tape things to do. So in the coming week, though, I just hope to do more like that and maybe some other different things.
All
That's
right.
it.
Cool. So I guess that takes care of everybody who's here. I guess we'll go to retrospective for yourself and for the team, and process improvement if you have one. And who would like to start us off? Lauren? I can go first. Retrospective, I'd say for myself, I will give myself an 8. And for the team, after seeing Chris's stand-up, I'll give it a 10. Process improvement, I do not have a process. Who would like to go next?
I'll go. So, yeah, I say maybe like a 9 for me, because I think I did kind of kick ass this week after seeing my list, and definitely a 10 for the team because just everything still moving forward and getting done. Everybody's kicking ass on what they're working on, so I think that is awesome. And actually, the other reason a 10 is if you look going over the forums have gotten a lot. The Google groups have gotten a lot busier lately. I mean, there's emails going through there almost daily, which is awesome to see discussion on things. And actually, I don't have a process improvement. I always try to come up with something, and I just didn't this week.
It's tough. Keep coming up with the process improvement.
Oh yeah.
All right, who would like to go next?
Guess I will. 5 for myself. I've been planting trees, so not really a lot of time for WIKISPEED stuff. I guess 9 for the team. And no process improvements that I can think of at the moment.
All right. Michael?
I guess so. I'm going to give myself about a 3 because I didn't get done anything near what I was wanting to get done. 9 for the team. Things are going good. Things are happening without my participation, obviously. So, process improvement. I'm going to have to fall back on some way to get video or pictures or just seeing what other guys are doing in the shop, so that we can see that stuff is getting done, and it might inspire us to get something else, to get our own stuff done. I haven't been able to come up with a way to actually have that happen. I still haven't found an application that does the still frame or does the time lapse and uploads it to the internet, which I didn't think was going to be nearly as challenging. Anyway, that's it.
I agree with Michael on that one. Yeah, I looked into it a little bit too, and was first off amazed by the overwhelming amount of cameras or whatever solutions out there, and then trying to weed through it and figure out if anything even does close to it. You wouldn't think posting time lapse pictures to the internet would be that difficult. I mean, when I worked in an internet company in the mid to late 90s, there were already websites doing it. So it can't be that difficult, but yeah, it is hard to find. But I do agree with that one as a good one for everybody to look into to see if there's a good way to find time lapse cameras that can automatically post to the internet based on motion sensors or something like that.
I have to say, unfortunately for me, I couldn't have something like that at my shop. And some of this stuff is not to be broadcasted at all.
And it should be on a voluntary basis for sure. Yeah.
It sounds like a great idea. Like, wish I could.
It's an option, and a camera could be in some place that's pointing quite
well, and yeah,
Sorry. The entrance.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like Rob's shop. I mean, you could just point it at the part of the backlog that is WIKISPEED related, so that people just see the cards moving. Because I know you have like government contract, clearance, secret clearance things.
Is there a way we could disable the camera and tell build parties? So that only when people are getting stuff done, it's taking pictures. That way, there's not like a bunch of time where nothing happens.
Milo, I would say that's absolutely a criteria for what would I say? Acceptance criteria for a solution is that yes, the ability to turn it off needs to be there for whatever reason.
That's an option. Should be an option.
What I've been struggling with is something that will actually do the time lapse at a reasonable time and actually do a motion sense as well. I found many that will do motion sense and that will trigger another application on your phone, but if it's already taking up the camera, you can't have something else taking video or taking pictures. And I found a lot of time lapse, but you have to remember to turn the sucker on. I was looking for something that was a little bit more automatic so that we're not really that good at remembering stuff. At least I'm not.
So I'll try and post this.
Hey.
Post this. The Make Magazine project has a bird feeder photo trap that uses motion detection using the camera and then snaps a picture. And so I think that would be a good starting point. And it works just with a simple webcam. So I'll post the link to the article. It's one of the people from Make.
Awesome. I would also say, Michael, that if it's something that requires to be like you said, to remember to turn it on, if there's a command line, it could at least be scheduled for scheduled build parties. Like you basically make it kick off at the times that the build parties are scheduled for. But I like the bird feeder idea better.
Well.
I'm sorry, say again?
I said that would be a good feature as well, the scheduling.
Right.
Like as I search, my criteria gets shorter and shorter, and I'm still having trouble finding something.
No, I know. Like I said, I looked into it just briefly and was overwhelmed at the very least.
Well, if you do find one, post it. I'll check it out for sure. So, Lauren, did you give a
No.
look perspective?
So I've had to help somebody. Yeah. So like I said, yeah. So I'm giving myself a 3 or 4 as opposed to a not applicable because I did get involved in a few things this week, and the team a 10 because very quickly the crash in oil prices in Canada has caused a bunch of people to lose their jobs in Alberta and Saskatchewan. And so I think that WIKISPEED is very important because it kind of offers a what next rather than working for an evil tar sands oil company and staking your future on that being a stable future. These distributed kinds of things I think are the future. And in terms of the process improvement, both that thing that I posted about and was with the kind of our own custom hangout online, WIKISPEED online something, and then the other thing is the backlog grooming. So Chris was working on that, and he'll probably talk about it.
Okay. Good. Well, that takes care of all the Scrum ceremonies for this meeting. So now the floor is open for talk, if anything. Anybody got anything?
Well,
So,
did you want to say something? I was going to say the default Honda harness does not have shielding for the throttle controller, so I highly, highly doubt that it needs it. Especially since we've already proven that it works with your standard 18 gauge wire.
And that's one reason I went ahead and got this for the car build we're doing on Monday. I think the concern is that in an electric engine module that you're going to get more what would just not RF off of it, but more interference. So
Yeah.
so definitely, I mean, and it can even be two different products. I mean, just like you buy HDMI cables that are shielded and I mean, everything comes in shielded and non-shielded. Non-shielded is way cheaper. So
I think for the electric engine module, you should just use a different Hall effect sensor or whatever for the pedal, and just have it be something simple like a 2 or a 3 wire setup.
it may be going down that line. If I'm not mistaken, the Michael, weren't you having trouble getting the Honda accelerator pedal to put out a signal that would even work with your controller?
Yes, sir, I was.
Yeah,
I
so
really have no interest in trying to make the Honda one work.
right,
I will
right.
make another one work, but
Okay,
it's going to have to be shielded because these Hall effect pedals appear to be a voltage signal, so they don't have any current behind them, so they're susceptible to noise.
right. Okay.
Rob, how are you doing with your? Did you find some batteries for your testing on the controller?
I mean, I'm getting ready to option is the 12-volt car battery. I'm looking at the night the LiFe batteries, but they're going to be I think I quoted them. I mean, I priced them up for what I would need. It's like $1,200 or $1,500, something like that. So, I don't know. Let's let Joe worry about it after it's done. Maybe you can get good at getting free stuff. I don't know. But I think the 12-volt batteries is the best way to go right now. The car batteries. I did run the motor, the electric motor, after I rewound it with the wire. I've got the amps and watts are coming up on the graph now because I do different winding on the rotor. But the 12-volt battery definitely has enough amps that it kept it stable versus the lithium that I was using. That was 18 volts, and it would drop. Its voltage would drop pretty significantly at some point, and the amps would too. So I think car battery is the cheapest way to go, best way to go right now.
If you can find somebody that messes with fork trucks around there, electric fork trucks, when the battery pack won't last a shift, or half a shift,
right?
They normally return the whole bloody thing for a core charge. And if you go through and test the batteries one at a time, you usually can find some that have like 20 or 30% life left in them.
Right.
And if they'll let you have them for the core charge, you use them until they're flat, and then you return them for the core charge. So.
What are they like the 12-volt car battery size, or are they like bigger?
They're bigger. They look more like a truck battery.
Oh,
and they're the same style as a golf cart battery. The plates in the battery itself are thicker, so they'll put out much more current.
Yeah.
Put out lots of current for a while instead of just a very short period of time.
Right. Do you know what their rating is per hour? Yeah.
I think they're in the 500 to 1,000 amp hour range.
Oh wow.
But they're big and they're heavy, right?
Yeah. Hey, are you guys still working on the brushless motor controller that has like what was it, 200 volts, 500 amps or something like that?
Yeah, actually, that's what I'm doing next week. Is going. I'm going on vacation, and the vacation is in Phoenix, and he just happens to live pretty close to Phoenix. So the controller board that we're using is well, it's 600 volt transistors, but he says we probably shouldn't go much above 400 volts, and it'll push out 1,200 amps.
Wow. Well, that would work for the motor that I did rewind. That would be the perfect controller for it. Now that I've rewound it, I don't know that might be way too much for the for how it's wound now. But an unaltered murder, I think that would work really good. Maybe you can bring one back.
Well, I've got to get it to the point where it'll take the program first, and then I have to do a little bit of debugging on it. The reason I've got it is for testing, and I can't get the thing to respond to a serial command right now, so we're working on it.
Well, I'd be so interested if you can get working. But yeah, you should have the bearing and the plate and after the top, what was that?
That was
It was
awesome.
rushing. I was trying to clean my trackball and I accidentally clicked on my music. Sorry.
No problem. Yeah, it's just a laser cutting, and I get the bearings from McMaster. So the worst thing I have to do is put splines into the pulley, the timing pulley. So, and I'm only using one axle. So what I'm going to do is cut the other axle and put a little bit of a curve into it and see if I can hammer it through the aluminum to cut the splines. If not, maybe a 2-ton jack will work. Press.
I don't know if 2 tons is quite enough tons, but it's definitely better than a hammer.
Well, aluminum's pretty strong, and the axles are pretty hard. I think it'll go through pretty good, but who knows?
Okay.
That didn't sound really enthusiastic. Okay, but
Well, you're getting into stuff that I know very little about, so if you say it'll go through, I believe you.
Well, that's it for me.
Just because Lauren brought it up, actually on the I guess the product owner meeting or whatever we're calling it, we actually, Lauren talked about that before we started this meeting just a little bit with everybody that was already on the call. But I will summarize just real quick. So the plan is to create a specific online, Carica board for the online team, or basically us. And it'll be specifically for things that don't fit well into the local shops boards. The specific purpose behind it is like the Linwood shop. That Carica board is so full of everything that's being tracked that it can't possibly match what's going on in the shop. In fact, it's not being used at all, I don't think. The last update was from February 9th, and I think it was May, is what it shows right now. So the plan is as kind of a test case to go through some product revision as a team, and have a product owner and a scrum master assigned to a board with about the right amount of people, which is the online team. Is to go ahead and create one for the WIKISPEED online team, and then that'll be kind of a test case for us doing this product owner meeting. And the plan is I'll set that up. Now, Lauren, one thing I learned since you were on the call earlier is that those are created in the info at WIKISPEED account. So I have full access to that, and I'll get that created this week. And also, Milo, I think that your music probably violated a number of copyright laws that we're now that we're recording and posting it.
Wait, the thing about the copyright laws with the YouTube and everything, it's music barons here in America. I highly doubt they've heard of Scotchion or they don't get published in America.
Yeah.
So I highly doubt it's going to get triggered by the American RIAA scums or whatever.
I believe it's automatic on YouTube, and if it's in their database, they will likely find it. It may take a little while for them to process, but I guess we'll see.
Oh boy.
I'll just go back over the video and dub the fuck word over that whole session.
Creative Commons music only.
All right. Well, I'm going to get off the video. I'll see you on next week.
Awesome, Rob.
I
Thanks.
posted the photo trap, so just to look for it in the emails.
Yeah, that seems like
Okay,
an
anybody else
interesting
have
idea.
anything they want to talk about?
I got nothing else.
Okay, guys, until next week.
Hey.
Bye.
Good evening, everybody.